All right. Listen, guys, this is the SEO Show. I'm Frank Schwarz. That right there is Mr. Matt Stack. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. Glad to be on.
I was looking at some shows and listening to some of these podcasts and stuff, and I guess I'm supposed to have this whole written out thing, the SEO Show, where great minds come to talk about great ideas and, you know, all this crap. I think I'm going to write something out that's just going to be so over the top ridiculous that you'd have to be an imbecile to believe it. We pay our guests $50,000 to tell you what we need to know, and shit like that. But I'm sure the FTC would.
Doing, buddy? Pretty good, man.
Oh yeah, hey, look at this. This is exactly what Frank Schwarz is not supposed to be doing. Playing it on the other screens. But I've got it so I can see Brian and Craig and 3 other viewers because they don't want to sign in, so I can't find out what they're doing. Chat roll is on the site, guys. Questions, comments, everything like that. And it literally is right below here. So Matt, I appreciate you coming on, man. Mm-hmm. You and Mark are doing a SEO show for LCT, right?
I think it's just more like a local marketing kind of thing. Like we're gonna do like a sales mini series coming up here soon.
Yeah, I saw that. That is. I love when you guys all do the sales stuff because that's just something that I did a long time ago, got out of. It's just a lot of shit, man. I mean, I always felt like the Wolf of Wall Street, not successful, just being a dick, you know?
Well, I feel like a lot of the stuff was never really focused on sales, like with all this SEO stuff, but recently people have been kind of focusing more and more on it.
Well, it's that, and, you know, there's okay, so I set up this site. It's ranked number 1. And I'm going to rent it. So you got to have the sales to go out and talk to somebody. You have to have that part. And then I see other ones that are like, you know, if you rank and you say this, you'll get paid this, but they never talk about how do you get traffic to this thing. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, you know, asexual tendencies between male and female chickens. During the summer solstice, you'll be number 1, you know. But what the hell happens? You know what? Yeah. Who's the traffic? You know, and that's I brought up like lead pages and unbounce and ClickFunnels, and I said, you know, you set up these pages and they're great. All of them are great. I've got nothing bad to say about any of them. They all have their strong points and their stuff, but what a lot of them don't talk about that I'm aware of that they don't say is getting the traffic to it. Mm-hmm. You know, you've got this beautiful lander you're going to give away your ebook, but who the hell knows you're there? Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, unless, you know, you just automatically are number 1 and you happen to hit a market that's got 10,000, you know, clicks a day. And, you know, it's like, what do you do? And people are like, well, do I buy ads? Do I, you know, what do I do to get that traffic in there? What do you do to get people to your local pages?
Right now, most of my stuff is SEO based. Starting to do a little bit with Craigslist, and then my partner's messing around a little bit with Bing and Facebook ads.
Okay, so you literally now, do you pay somebody to post in your Craigslist?
I'm trying out 2 services right now.
Oh, cool. And you're not going to tell us that, are you?
No, I can share that.
Who are you using to get your Craigslist stuff out there?
The one guy is actually Albert Dugdale, the tallest man in internet marketing.
Yeah.
He's 6'8".
6'8". Now, I mean, literally 6'8". I'm thinking I'm average size, so this guy's at least 1.5 feet taller than me. You know, it's just like, and just so everybody knows, the reason that we were bringing in the tallest man is I was listening to what is that? No Hat Digital, No Hat. Daggone it, I closed out the window. The group that you were part of. No Hat Digital. I was listening to a podcast with Matt on it, and he claimed, and I asked if he can still say that he has the best calves in SEO. And
there it is.
Look, there it is. Those are some sexy ass calves, man. You work out a lot?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a meathead.
Oh, there you go. My brother-in-law's a meathead. I mean, literally, you know, the guy's like got muscles on muscles and walk in, and I'm like, okay, I'm just fat and out of shape. So I was listening to that, so I had to ask about the calves, and he tells me about his buddy, the tallest man in SEO, and I'm thinking that I may be putting my hat in for the most out of shape SEO person, but I'm not sure yet because I do know a lot of people who shoot their hangouts from bed. You know, it's like, and it's not because they're sexy women; they're just too fat to get out of bed. But yeah, so you're posting on Craigslist the service. And then people are clicking over to your page, and that's what you're doing.
I think they put the phone number in the actual picture of the ad because Craigslist is tracking now, like the phone numbers or something. So they're just calling one of my tracking numbers.
Excellent. So you're actually doing like multi-channel marketing instead of just like a lander or a basic website.
Well, attempting to. It was all just SEO based for a while, but I just want to kind of mitigate some of my risk.
Now, are you still, and I know I'm not going to be giving any secrets because of the other podcasts, that people should just go Google Matt Stack and you're going to find podcasts with him on it. So it's not like it's hidden anywhere behind paywalls. Are you still in the mold and water damage industry?
Yep. I do a lot with mold. And trying to build out more stuff with that.
I noticed that one of the things that you at least said last year was that you concentrate. You don't water down what you're doing all over the place. Like you said you tried roofing, and I loved what you said. You don't like roofers, you know.
Yeah.
And I as a previous roofing company owner, I was not offended at all because I am in full agreement. And it's not so much the person, it's just the industry. They suck, guys. You think you're doing it right, you're wrong.
Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah, actually. Oh yeah, I did. No, it's weird because even coming from the roofing industry and doing the marketing from an office for a company and doing all that stuff, you know, call these guys up or talk and they're like, yeah, we don't need it. You know, we don't need SEO. We don't need the leads. We got it. You know, and I'm like, then why are you sending 50 kids out on the street knocking on everybody's door with a flyer? I mean, come on, man. That's, you know, I'm like, guys, and that was one thing I did. I went to Craigslist and I started looking locally here in Phoenix. Who's doing canvassing? Who's hiring all these canvassers? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to call them up and say, just let me sell you leads. Oh, no, no, we're cool. I'm like, but you'll pay a kid $10 an hour to walk around, hand out these flyers, and get these random calls from people who don't even own the home. You know, it's a renter. They just want that $50 Walmart gift card that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's funny. They're not the only industry like that, but they are definitely window replacement, just as bad. And I'm trying to figure out why that is. You know, why isn't everybody in the lead gen portion or lead receiving portion? And do you think that's our fault as fake SEOs, fake salesmen or something, that we're not conveying the value of the lead, or are they just sick of all this crap where somebody calls up and says, hey, listen, I'm the #1 SEO guy and I'll fix your website and you'll get 1 million calls? And
I think some of it, SEO still is kind of an undervalued service. I guess, yeah, it might just not have good people or good salesmen selling it. But, yeah, and SEO is kind of like a snake oil kind of car salesman type of industry. There's a lot of like snakes, you know, it's a lot of people been burned. That's why I like lead gen, just because it's just a lot easier to sell. You already have the leads.
So what do you do? Do you just call up? Now, I know that you were ranking and folks, when you're doing this stuff, and Joe Davidson, man, he's leaving nasty comments.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow. Nice, Joe. I just saw that. I was like, whoa. I'm not saying that out loud until I know that you know him, because I ain't starting a war. I am not starting a war on here, but I like that. You were concentrating on ranking a site and then finding a partner, you know, somebody to buy it. Are you still doing that now?
Yeah. Well, for a while, like I ranked a bunch of sites and they just kind of sat because I wasn't good at sales. And then finally I kind of like just faced the music and just started getting out there. And I had a big breakthrough when I started getting some coaching with Brian Bird. He really helped me a lot with the sales part of things.
That's awesome. Yeah, Brian's good folks. It was funny because what you had said, you're like, yeah, you know, rank, and then now they're sitting there, and I just started now. I guess it's been a year since I started buying all this hosting and set aside, because now all these bills are coming due from all these companies, and I'm like, what URL is this? I don't even know what the hell is this. So I'm clicking over and I'm going, oh yeah, I didn't even realize you're still out there. So cancel that and pull that down, and okay, put it up on auction on Google or on GoDaddy. Yeah, $5, you can have it. I don't care. It's just like, oh my God. I've got one, it's like yxllxy.com. And I'm like, why did you buy that? I'm like, it must have been like one of those super age domains or something that I really wanted bad. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, that's right. Okay, so Joe says, who's the bald punk?
Me and him go back and forth all the time in the Black Hat community Skype group.
Oh, nice. Which Black Hat community are you part of, or communities?
Or the Black Hat community.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Fosters.
Guys, if you want the Black Hat community link, it'll be below because I'm an affiliate of theirs. I love those guys. You know, it's really good. Brian Wade, how you doing, man? Says, oh, that's Matt, the 45K man. Yeah, it is. And he's also part of LCT and different things. So you're going to Australia. Is this to close a bunch of big deals, or to literally just hang out?
Well, I lived in Mexico with the No Hat Digital guys, and when I was down there, I actually met my business partner, Alex Azuri, and he's Australian. He lives out in Byron Bay, so we've been working together virtually since we met both of them back, and then we just want to work, you know, side by side. So
are you just going out there for an extended stay, or are you going out there and going to be an illegal alien and just not ever like show up again?
Gotta figure it out. I'm thinking I'll be out there a few years and then up to maybe Southeast Asia.
Nice. Yeah, I got a bunch of friends in Australia who have all migrated more north into Vietnam, the Philippines, and stuff like that. And they're like, you know, it's just they're like, man, the cost of living, the area, the people, you know, and I'm just like, hey, I just need the internet. You know, I'm moving 20 miles from where I live, and I'm already having problems. I'm having withdrawals because they're like, oh, it's sketchy out here. I'm like, really, it's Phoenix, guys. You shouldn't be sketchy. It's not like we're back hills. I mean, it's a pretty big area. But yeah, so where do you see local lead gen headed now that it seems to be not a fad, but it seems to have bubbled to the top now, instead of, you know, Becker was really pushing SEO about 6 months, a year ago, and everybody jumped on it. I'm going to be the SEO guy, and there's the OMG guys, and now lead gen has bubbled to the top, and above that, the froth is the sales. Mm-hmm. Do you see where it's going beyond this, or maybe what the next fad is?
It's tough to tell. I like lead gen just a lot better, just because if you get like a shitty client, you can just tell them to F off and you go on to the next person,
Yeah, that's always the best. It's we were talking about it yesterday. Somebody asked about their phone number. In the title of the video, they're like, hey, I put it up there, and now do I put the phone number in the title? And I'm like, no, don't. You could have when you were ranking, but now you'll redo the whole algorithm, and it'll adjust a bit. Annotate. Put it in the annotations, man. Don't use the cards. Use annotation. Put that sucker right in the bottom or right on top, and and the reason that I say more on top is because the ads pop up if you monetize, which don't monetize your marketing material, guys. If you're trying to sell something, keep the ads off of it. The 1 cent you're going to get could blow a deal where somebody can't see your phone number. Mm-hmm. So yeah, use the phone numbers and everything. And then the title, if you've got Google voice and all that stuff set, it becomes a click to call. So it's always fun to play with that way. But yeah, lead gen is an interesting beast, because I'm seeing these landing pages, but nobody's able to SEO these landers. There's just not enough. You don't have any room for, here's your video sales page, and here's where you can either put in your information or a phone number, but there's no SEO, there's no content. How does somebody get around not really having a whole lot of content?
You can hide some content in tabs. Well, it wouldn't even really be like hiding to Google. It just might look like supplementary material, and it won't be like visible unless they click on the tab. I do that on some of my sites.
Okay, so almost like an upper menu, or
no, just lower on the page. Just
okay.
Yeah, just use all WordPress. I can't code for shit. My site's really ugly. I hate everything about building websites.
You know what? And here's something that I'll throw in there for a bunch of people, and let me see if I can get it to. It's called Pine Grow, PineGrow. It's Pine Grow, and Web Designer. It's a new thing that I've come across, and it will take an HTML template and turn it into WordPress.
Oh, nice.
Right on your desktop, and I think it was $90. That was the offer. I found it, and I picked it up to test it. I mean, they've got like a 30 or 60 day money back. So, but yeah, just and then you can go out and grab all your HTML from Code Canyon or Theme Forest and or WSO of the day. This lander brought in 7,412 clicks in 3 minutes. I love those. And then turn it into your WordPress and see whatever the hell you want to do with it. Now, why are you part of Black Hat? If Black Hat is so bad with SEO for Google, and Google hates all that, and why are you part of these Black Hat communities? Is there something evil that you're trying to do?
Oh no, the Black Hat Black Hat community, they're amazing. Best probably SEO group I've ever been in. It's really great community.
And what are they, like $60 a month, 45, 60, something like that?
I think regular price is 60, but there's discounts out there.
Yeah, there's discounts, and my link's right below. So get over there as soon as the show's over, and I'll give you your link. Yeah, no, I know, God, a ton of people, and I love the fact that everything's called Black Hat. But it's not Black Hat. I mean, everything that we do is Black Hat technically. Yeah. And I love that. Have you ever watched the new TV show Cyber?
No.
It's like CSI Cyber. You have to suffer through at least one episode, man.
What is it?
It is CSI, okay, from way back, but it's new actors. They actually have the guy from Dawson's Creek on there. He's the main badass. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at him. I'm like, that dude's from Dawson's Creek. How bad of a badass can he be? Yeah. And they are the computer fighters. They're the white hatters that fight black hat cyber criminals that blow things up with, the old digital two-way pagers. And, I think last week they took over a hotel room and committed a murder and, all this. I was just like, wow. If people actually watch this and think this is what I'm going to do for a living, they're in for a rude awakening. Yeah. So we've got blackhat.community and LCT, which is local client takeover. Mm-hmm. What is LCT about, and why should people jump on that Facebook page?
They're a great community too. There's really good, like, if you ever have any questions about like AdWords or SEO or any kind of traffic sources, stuff like that, there's a lot of people that are very eager to help.
Mark's a pain in the ass a lot of the times. You ask a question and he just highlights everybody else's name for you. Yeah, Mark, I'm going to bust your balls too and get you next week. Talk about hiding content on the page. Jason on Semeasy has a plugin called Stealth Mode, worth a look. Craig Ramsay says that. Okay. Go over to Semeasy, guys, and grab Jason's plugin called Stealth Mode. I don't know what it does. And I don't know if you'll blow some shit up or something. I mean, I went all last week without swearing, and I even got congratulated for not swearing the whole
You're quite
show.
A fucking guy.
And all of a sudden now I've said dick, asshole, yeah, and now we got the F-bomb in here. We're just going to have to do this the fun way. I swear to God. Here in Phoenix, the Network Empire people have their big training with all the big SEO guys. Are you part of any of those major pay groups that, is 30, 50, 75,000 a year to learn your trade, or do you keep it more low?
I was in some Network Empire stuff, and then they kind of make their stuff confusing on purpose, and I was just spinning my wheels for a while, so I wouldn't recommend Network Empire for that reason.
It's I got into a couple other trainings, and it is, I mean, you got to sit there. You really, I don't know if they do it on purpose or if I'm just too stupid, because I literally was just like, what did he say? Is that even a word? And I'm pulling up the words to try to figure out. And I just think they're really smart and so far ahead. I love their last keyword tool. I thought that was, if you see all these pretty colors and things, and I'm just like, ooh, I wonder what this does. Which I will do a plug for SpyFu, guys, and it's an unpaid. They just broke out some really cool keyword tools with the ads and everything like that. So go check them out. I'm playing around with a couple of local markets here that I had no idea. And I was talking with a guy who I thought was lying to me, and he's like, dude, I spend like $20,000 a week on ads. And I'm like, jeez, nobody can be in this market. And I'm like, this is like the weirdest freaking niche. I've never even really thought that there was money in this. And I went in and I went to SpyFu, typed in the keyword, and up he came. So then I delved deeper into what he was. And yeah, he's on record $15,000 a week for I think it's 500 keywords, and he's just beating out. His site sucks. His call to actions are like at the bottom of the page in the footer. It's like the most obnoxious night build on GoDaddy. It's just this horrible thing, and I'm just like, dude, spend the money and get a site rebuild. I mean, it's $5,000 you'll have the #1 site. And, so do you come across people who don't want your leads but want your SEO?
Not usually. The one thing I've found though is like you gotta pick for like the people you want to sell leads to. You gotta pick good business owners, people that kind of know their numbers and that can take on your leads and answer every like phone call. And because the ones if they're not answering your phone calls, I mean they're just losing business, and then that's money you're not gonna make. And it's just so much easier to work with a good business owner. I don't know.
And they're not gonna pay you.
Yeah.
You know, as I ran across that same thing. You know, I'm sending in and they're going, well, I don't have enough people to answer all these calls. And I'm like, well, then hire somebody and close them, and you're going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. And by the way, you know, I sent these calls to you and I'm going to charge you because now they're dead. You know, and they were like, oh yeah, we can't pay you because we didn't make any money. And it was like, oh yeah, damn. I've got to have better client picking skills than, you know, just randomly calling somebody in the phone book. And you said you only go after people who are spending money.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to sell to those kind of people if they're already spending money. They know internet marketing is important, so you just have to convince them to spend money with you. No,
so do you just look at like their Google ads, or, you know, and like do the keyword search and whoever pops up on the side, that's who you call? Or do you have another ninja spot that you look for?
What I usually do is I'll order a prospecting gig from Fiverr, and then I'll kind of send out a bunch of emails, see what I get from that. And then I'll also cherry pick some Google PPC people.
That is, I never even thought about that prospecting gig. Shit. All right, write that one down, guys. That's one you need. It's funny. I hate Craigslist. Okay, unless I'm like buying a video game and, you know, or looking to barter river rocks for the backyard or something.
Get cross-dressing material.
Yeah, you know, nice secondhand relationship status. You know, it's like, no, I'm not looking for an LBT. You know, and nothing against it. It's cool if you're into cross-dressers. I'm not. Be married. Shit, this show just went all over the place real quick. Do you have a program that you charge for, that you're training, that you're doing something, or are you just too busy making money and living in all these exotic locales that you just give back and that's it?
Yeah, I don't see myself releasing any kind of training anytime soon.
Oh, bummer, because I was going to say I'm on for the Craigslist stuff, because, you know, I literally I'm horrible for it. I find my competitors in there, you know. I'll be like, yeah, we're doing video production. All of a sudden I've got this whole list of, you know, we do videos and it's $7,000. And I'm like, wow, it's just gotta up my prices or something's going on, you know, because you guys are killing me here. And what, I mean, shit, what else is there besides how great you are? We covered your calves. What do you want to talk about, man?
Anything lead gen, I'm good with.
I'm horrible with the lead gen. I am so bad with the lead gen, because no, seriously, I've got a great niche, but my thing is that content, you know, getting it so that the SEO's there, you know. Yeah, I'm backlinking, and, you know, I've picked my niches based on my keywords and everything. So I rank for what I'm going for. It's just, what if, you know, and I was talking with somebody, but they're like, I want to go after plumbers. And I'm like, well, stay the hell away from plumbers. Plumbers suck. You're not, you know, there's too many people trying to go for that. But I said, okay, so you set up your site, but how do you get, you know, and you've said Craigslist, but is there anything SEO that can be done to get that site pushed further ahead?
Lately I've been just using pretty much PBNs, press releases, and citations.
Now, I know that the first thing everybody's going to say about citations is, how the hell are you doing an address if you aren't a business owner and you have no building you know, I know some people are using like Regis and things. I hate the Regis offices here in Phoenix because, you know, everybody's got them. And one of the buildings got nailed by that lawyer update for Google. So, you know, there were 1,000 people in 50 offices, you know, and Google's like, you know, hey, wait, we just cross-referenced everybody's addresses and you don't have that there.
Yeah.
How are you doing citations without an address?
I'll use an address I just don't own.
Oh, okay. All right. That's simple. I always used Google Maps and used the satellite imagery and looked for a house in an empty lot and found what the Google address was for that. And I went, yeah, shit, that's me now, you know? And I'm like, well, how do you get them to verify? I'm like, I don't, you know, it's just, I'm not looking to get verified. I just need the address. And if anything, it's like, oh, shit, sorry. Go drop something in the mail and have it redirected to you, you know? It's like, oh, okay. I put in the wrong address. Sorry there, postal worker. Hopefully it's not illegal.
There's some services out there that can get like any kind of address verified. There's a guy I use for that.
Oh, and did you find them on Fiverr or Craigslist, or you pay big bucks to be part of that secret clan?
He was in one of the Facebook groups. I think it's like $100 per verification.
Oh, well, I mean, if you're going after a good niche, you know, you got to spend money to make money. So, you know, that's something you do. How did you decide, or how do you do finding the niche in your keywords? I mean, do you have some special voodoo keyword finder that, you know, or is it just you're smarter than everybody else?
There's a couple considerations I take. It's got to have search volume, obviously, high average customer value. I take seasonality into consideration, short sales cycle I like, and emergency is a bonus.
Okay, so now I've been told in the past few months to stay away from emergency. I love emergency. I have EMDs still that, you know, emergency's in their name. You know, the whole, you know, you're going to react fast because, like you said in your podcast, they're not there at that point. They're not doing a buying typical who's lower, you know, who's closer. You know, it's like who's open, who's taking care of this now.
Yeah.
So your cycle's got to be short, but you go after the emergency. Where is it because nobody else is, or is it just because of that sales cycle?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. It's just kind of a short sales cycle, and then people will just pick you. They're not going to keep searching around if it's an emergency. But I know what you're talking about. Like Brian Bird, he talks about not using emergency, so you can use like the lead multiplier thing.
Right. And that was going to be question was, you know, do you do like a lead multiplier, or do you just set up a shitload of these sites and just rent them out to individuals? So it's like a one-on-one exclusive lead.
Right now, that's how I have stuff set up, but I would like to get into the lead multiplier thing, because just like, why not do it that way? Just make, you know, 2 or 3 times more money.
Well, and
really smart.
Not only smart, but I also thought it would be great that, you know, even if you're in and you're selling leads to this person, you're selling leads to this person, you throw up this and you say, hey, look, you know, now you can hit 3 or 4 more, and you've only got that one domain to really do your SEO for.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I was looking at that, and you know what Brian said about, you know, they're making 3 phone calls, you know, but they're on your page. Your bounce rate drops, you know, you've got them in your little funnel, and typically nobody's calling past 2 or 3 anyway. So I'm waiting for their theme to come out. I'm waiting for the theme. I got the PSDs, and I was like, was talking with my programmer. I'm like, look at this. He's like, dude, I can have this done in like 3 days. Now that you've got all this, so the rest of it's easy. I was like, shit, I'll wait for a minute. They're smarter than I am about that. So we'll see what's going on. So what else do you do besides, just the lead stuff? I mean, there's got to be something else. You're making, $50, $100, $200,000 a month, whatever it is. And it's just as they say, you're the 45K guy. I've heard a couple of things about the 45K guy. So, what else do you do besides just that?
My partner's been doing a little bit of client work. He's been pitching Mad Rank style, using their whole methodology.
Okay. All right, cool. So you've got the Brian Burt guys, you've got the Mad Rank guys, and the Black Hat guys. So you're not spread thin, but you're spread out.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that would be the way to say it. What are you finding? What's your comfort level with them? Which kind of modality do you prefer, or is there one?
I like lead gen the best. I'd rather
so going out and doing the client stuff's really not your wheelhouse.
Well, yeah, like if you work within one niche, you don't have to keep going out and doing research to figure out, what kind of ad copy converts in this niche, or you don't have to make brand new websites. You can kind of just keep the similar design and just kind of launch it in new cities. Just a lot easier just to stick within a few niches and do lead gen.
And how many niches would you say you do?
I think I'm in probably 4 or 5 right now.
Okay. Because I know there are a lot of guys that come up with an idea, they throw out a site, and then they try to find somebody to take the leads, and then nothing really happens. So then they go and find another niche, and then that happens every few days or every few weeks, and suddenly they're in 20 verticals with nothing there, and you're doing your niche and area, and there's some guys like Brian Willie, and stuff that are into the high end guys, and the funny part is they're into the high end guys because that's what they were, lawyers are lawyers, and then they can go after the lawyers. I talk to bail bondsmen. That's just, I've used them so much that, I'm comfortable around them. Sorry. This is a bad joke.
Took me a second.
People are like, oh my God, really? Yes, I have people on retainer, that's just the way I roll. It's easier that way. Phone calls. I don't know my wife's phone number, but I do know my lawyer and bondsman's phone numbers. So you literally are just a couple of niches and then growing out as they're taken, or do you just try to rule the world and then go out and find them to rent your leads or to buy your leads from?
I kind of tried doing that when I first started. I built out way too much stuff, and I wasn't seeing things through until completion, and it was kind of bad to do that. I think it's better to kind of build out just a couple, get them ranked and sold, and then kind of move on, rather than having just tons of projects in various stages of completion.
And I want people to know you're not new to this. This isn't something that you've been working on for a few months. Like I said, the No Hat Digital, that podcast was a year ago. How long have you been in lead gen SEO? Wow, I just froze up. The world of internet.
About 3 years now.
Oh, okay. All right. So he is new compared to all these other old hats that have been doing it 7 years, and
Yeah.
I've been on since 1974. Well, the internet wasn't around, so how the hell did you do that? It's like Where do you see what you're going to be doing? I mean, are you going to like retire in 3 years? I mean, you're traveling. So obviously you've got enough money that you're relocating to a whole nother part of the world. Do you see yourself quitting this anytime soon, or?
I don't know. Because I kind of struggle sometimes with internet marketing if it really actually adds value to the world. You know?
Yeah, but well, when you do that, then you got to ask, does car sales add value to the world?
Yeah.
I mean, you go to work every day to sell a car. How many freaking cars do you need to put out there that suck up all of our environmental resources? There's writers that write the crappiest books, romance novels. Don't like them, guys. What value do they bring? And it's like the porn industry. Does that bring value to anybody?
Tons of value. Brings me value every day. Multiple times a day. Yeah, people are like, I get lost in YouTube. I know people who get lost on the porn, You might also like click. All of a sudden it's deviance, It's like no, so I mean what challenge do you find where you say is there value? Because you're not the only person, because I didn't say does it bring value to the world? I said, is this a sustainable life? A few years back, it was probably 5 years ago, I came to the wall where I wasn't having success. There was nothing, I was beyond spinning my wheels. I was spending a shitload of money, 20 hours a day. I was, if I wasn't drinking coffee, I was drinking beer, smoking 2 packs of cigarettes, bouncing off of walls. Just shiny object was not something that was, it was all automatically push the buy now button. I wasn't listening to the sales video or reading the page. It was like, oh, I've heard that dude's name before, buy it. And, all of a sudden I'm a webinar god. I was a YouTube master, Craigslist, local clients, I was taking over, I was doing it all. Yeah.
And sitting there going, fuck, is this, what am I going to do? I mean, it's a bummer when you go, holy shit, I just spent $4,000 this month and I don't know why.
Uh-huh.
It's like a gambling addiction. So is it more of bringing value to the world, or is this sustainable in 5 years? Is that your thing, or is it just really, is there value?
That's just, I think just is there value. I don't know. I feel like I want to do maybe something with 3D printers or something one day, or something with like renewable energy.
Renewable energy. Come on down here, man. I don't know why you're going to Australia. All they have is surf, and Foster's beer, which isn't good. It's not good beer. It's really, Foster's sucks. I'm sorry. And the can is like the size of a small keg, It's like, so renewable energy. We have lots of sun here in Arizona, and 3D printing. What the hell is 3D printing going to bring to the world?
Oh my God, 3D printing is going to just change everything. Some people think it'll be bigger than the internet.
Really?
Yeah. Well, the internet's just information. That's like things like, I don't know. There's just so many weird little applications, stuff we can't even like fathom.
Now that's interesting. There is what's his name? Barnacles on YouTube. He's really into 3D printing. And he tests all these different models. He used to work for Microsoft for like 15 years, got laid off, and just became, a bigger YouTube sensation. And he's really into that stuff. And I've watched, and I'm just like, I see the show or the little clip where kid makes a 3D arm for the handicapped kid in his lunchroom, and stuff like that. And I see that as value, but I don't know if, I'm also seeing, ISIS creates a 3D gun and, takes over, Manhattan with, plastic toys. And it's like, okay, is it a fad? Is this the Beanie Babies for right now?
I think it has the power to kind of turn anyone into an entrepreneur. Like if you could kind of like, you have an idea for some kind of product and then you can just get it made and printed right there. You don't have to get it spec'd and sent out to like China for like some plant to make it. I don't know. There's just tons of cool little things with it.
See, and that's where people like you fascinate me, because you really do. You're looking ahead, and I think that's what kind of makes the internet and communities special, is because you'll see somebody who's looking further ahead, and you're able to find somebody else who also is looking further ahead, and you guys can talk at the same speed of, whatever, light, sound, and then go on and create these huge companies that, do make an impact, and I'm very much into the micro funds, and helping, these other, you went to Mexico. I'm right here. And I'm like, how can 20 miles from where I live and 20 miles across a line have, a $1 million home here and massive poverty here? How does society even let that happen? And, and people are like, well, go over to this country. And I'm like, what, are you kidding me? I can go down the street.
Yeah.
We've got to look at feeding that. And I think that the internet lifestyle that you and I are in feeds into that. We're able to feed our brain and keep things going and make enough money to survive, that we're able to then look forward and go, well, I want to try this out.
Mm-hmm.
You're not locked into going to work and then coming home and playing online. Mm-hmm. That's what you do. I'm here in the office every day. So I'm also looking at these ideas, like now 3D printer, crap. My wife's going to be mad because, I just ordered in video stuff, and I'm going to be like, I need a 3D printer. Why? Well, I'll make us a coffee cup, a couple of forks, and we can melt them back down and use them again. And, I don't know. I'll tell her something. I need an office. I need a workshop out back for my 3D printing. She'll just be like, whatever, You never know. I may build the mechanical arm that makes man able to fix things in outer space. That's shit. We just went all over the place. My fault, guys. Sorry. It's just one of those Fridays. It's just it's the end of the week, and it's been an interesting week in the internet world. Did you see what Google announced with the URLs?
Oh, with the breadcrumbs.
Yes. See, you're on it, man. You stay connected. Ugly URLs now are going to be uglier, and longer, and names and not locations on your page, and all that fun stuff. And I'll drop the link below so everybody can go look at what the new URLs are. What are your thoughts on this whole mobile thing?
I've seen some things lately that's saying it's not going to be that big, but I think a lot of the speculation is just, I don't know, it's speculation. We won't really know until it drops.
I hope you got some of your information from the SEO Show Facebook page. Actually took screenshots of Google's announcement that it's not going to impact the majority of their search. Some things are going to be hit, some things aren't going to be hit. News, 7 packs, in different locations, not touched. It is what it is. But again, I'll keep humming on it and saying you should be responsive. It's not expensive. If you're using WordPress, literally go get a plugin that'll give you a form to fill out with a phone number. If you're doing lead gen, that's all you really need. You don't need everything else on there.
Yeah. So
go do that. And, shit, man, I am sorry. I am such a shitty show host that it's just like, literally, it's like I love bringing you guys on, and I've got all these ideas, and then all of a sudden I realized that I don't have any of my shit, and I totally went brain dead, and I'm like, I'm so burnt this week. It's just it's so much fun. Are you going? So you're leaving for Australia in a couple of months. Are you doing the whole 4-hour work week, storing your stuff and giving up all your bills to live there, or are you like shipping all your shit there and just that's home?
I think that's just going to be home.
Oh,
for
sweet.
The next 2 years. So
are you going to start like the Aussie black hat community and do like meetups and stuff? Take over the world from down under?
I think the first part of being Australian is saying the C word a lot more. So I'm going to start working on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's their favorite word.
And you've got to start wearing dirty jeans, because I saw this movie. It was Mad Max. That dude's jeans were super dirty, part leather, spiked hats.
I do have a lot of leather pants, so I'm halfway there.
All right. Well, do your calves fit in leather pants? They don't have a lot of give, man.
That's a good point.
Are you prepared for the toilets? I heard they spin backwards. You might need to practice, Aim's all different when things are going in opposite directions, Get your kidneys and your bladder ready, man, because you're going to be partying like a rock star. And no offense, Australians, you guys are badasses. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen a wimpy Australian actor or anything like that. You might have some, but I don't know. I always think, you were created to be a prison. I mean, if your ancestry is a prison farm, that's pretty badass. I mean, you don't reproduce wimps out there. So no, that is cool. You're going to be surfing a lot and doing all that stuff. So I'm excited for you. And there are 0 questions. We've got a shitload of people online and nobody asking questions. I really appreciate the backup, you guys. Zach, Joe, Todd, Mike, come on, guys. Nobody's saying anything. And I just called you all out, and I know none of you are listening. That's why we're going to go to a podcast, I think. It'll just be easier. Mike McAllowitz is going to be on the 22nd. I've got him confirmed. I'm super pumped. I've got all of his books, and I'm going to have all that. If you write a book, please let me know. I'd love to help market the hell out of that thing. It's interesting that you want to do 3D printing, go from lead gen to 3D printing. And I don't mean that as a slam or anything else. I think that's really it's a jump that and you understand, and that value piece that's inside of you that drives you. And there's a lot of people who are like, I'm going to make a shitload of money and I'm just going to pay off things and put a bunch of money in the bank and then I'm out. And having that look forward to the value aspect is really cool. There's a spiritual aspect to life that I think needs to be filled at the same time. Yeah. That makes everything, makes the shitty day worth it, because you're building towards something. Mm-hmm. So I wish you luck with that, man. And if you ever need anything, please stretch this out almost to an hour, brother. And I don't want to waste your time. And I'm lost. I'm just like, today is going to be a day that I know I'm just going to sit back and probably put a movie on and just say, screw it, and wait for, are you going to watch Star Wars when it comes out?
Oh yeah, that's good. I saw the previews thing.
I was shocked. I just don't know how many more they can keep going, until everybody just goes, okay, it's Iron Man 12, Terminator 73, and Star Wars 43, the new beginning. And it's going to be R2-3P5, or whatever. So listen, it's the SEO Show. This is Matt Stack. Really, I appreciate you coming on, man. Guys, go and check out LCT. Go hunt down Matt. Ask him a bunch of questions. Tell him you appreciate him coming on the show, even though I made it suck. And it's Friday, so get the fuck out of here and go do something for the weekend. And I'll talk to you later.